I really, that we take the good wherever we find it, making it our own, claiming it. I think sometimes I know myself, that this good comes our way, and sometimes we're afraid to accept it, afraid to make it our own, because maybe if I get it, you won't get it. But that's not true, because there's a plethora of good in this universe. And then making it our own as far as we understand it. Sometimes good comes our way and we don't see it. Like maybe we're praying or doing treatment for one thing or another, and your good comes up and it could slap you in the face, and you say, "Oh, I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for this." Like that person that was in the flood waiting on the top of the roof, was waiting for somebody to save him, but a boat came by, a helicopter came by, and then God said, "Well, I sent you all these things. Why didn't you accept them?" And sometimes we get that same way. We're so focused on having to have this specific thing, this specific person, that when our good does come our way, we don't see it. And the idea that as much good as an individual can incorporate in their life, how much good can you stand? And a lot of times you get, everything's going so smooth in life, you just, oh my God, everything's just perfect, this is that, and then you're in the back of your mind, you're thinking, when's the other shoe going to drop, But if we only allow ourselves to open up and accept the good when it's there, that good maybe will be gone tomorrow. Who knows? Life is always evolving. Sometimes there's a little bit of devolving in there. So there's 3 points here I want to make about work. And the first one is beginning. Is where we begin matters. To start is to begin in the present moment. This moment now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. This moment of time where life, work, and love are happening. All these things are happening at the same time. We just have to separate them out sometimes. Now is the moment to cast shadow of influence upon the material essence of this world. It is time to find the willingness to add our voice, to add our vision and dream to that which exists for the good of others. To add our voice, our vision, and our dreams. So many times we ignore all these things. We may have this thing come to our mind, which we call vision, and you think it's, oh, that's crazy, I can't do that. Or you have these dreams, you share it with others, and they said, well, you can't do that, That's why when you have these things, you need to be careful who you share them with. You really want to share them with people who will support you in your dreams, in your vision. And you need to speak up. That's one thing I think that happens so many times, that people they have a voice, but they're afraid to use it. What is work? Work is a place. It's a task. The grind, the job, a function, or merely a means to an end. It's merely a means to support yourself. I know last few years, while I was at Boeing where I wasn't happy there. I stayed. Yes, I stayed for the money, for the benefits, and I was getting education at the time, because they were paying for it, and so I stayed. And a lot of us do that. We stay for I want to say the wrong reasons, but they're your own reasons. Nobody can really say they're wrong or they're right. You have to be you're the only one that can make that decision. It can be a task. It can be, but work can be fun too. I mean, work should be fun. You should enjoy what you're doing. It's like Reverend Vaughn, as a school psychologist, I know it's very taxing on him and stuff, but I know he enjoys it because he always likes to tell the children he's testing that you're the only one that can show me how you learn. So you're teaching me, and to put that element in there, I would have liked to have heard that as a kid, that you're actually teaching them something. And so work can be fun. Work is a doing of encompassing mental or physical effort expended to achieve the purpose or result. It encompasses the mental. And sometimes, to me, the mental is harder than the physical. Nowadays, the physical is a little hard because I'm getting older. But I used to love to do real physical work. But like I said, as times change, as my body changes, as our bodies change, sometimes we have to shift. Our bodies will tell us, you're going to shift, whether you like it or not. So work is that all-encompassing mental and physical effort that we use in order to create an outcome. Wonder. Wonder is a feeling of amazement, blended with esteem, caused by something beautiful, unexpected, unfamiliar, and inexplicable. Now, all those descriptive words are, you can almost picture them. Caused by something beautiful, unexpected, unfamiliar, or inexplicable. Like sometimes I know one example I will use, it's been used a lot of times here, is when you come around the curve on I-5 in Michigan, and on a clear day, all of a sudden, Mount Rainier is the most majestic view. When I think of a majestic view, that's what I think of. Because on a clear day, when you come around that corner, it's there. I mean, I've been here in Washington since 1978, and every time I see it, because it's not always out, because it likes to hide, it gets me. It fills me with that bit of wonder. So, wonder creates a state of admiration or respect. Often, work is the thing that brings us closer to desired achievements. Work brings us to where we can get a home, a car, move to a different tax bracket. I don't know if that's a good achievement or sometimes not. Or power. Some people do this to gain power. When can wonder and work take us? Where can wonder and work take us? Consider this notion that what if proficiency in work was rooted in wonder? As a standard operating procedure, the work instruction, the policy, and the guideline, what if the way to achieve the elusive is to begin in a state of wonder? Wonder about everything. What if instead of knowing all the answers, like some people think they know all the answers, we lead into asking more questions? I love people that have the guts and the courage to admit that they don't know something. I had a boss, well, he was up a couple levels up one time, and we'd be in a meeting and somebody asked a question and you knew less after he answered the question because he did not know what in the hell he was talking about. He didn't know the answer. So he's doing all this la 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 la, kind of like a certain ex-president that we used to have. You know, the squirrel was crazy. And when I went to management, I told my crew that, you know, I don't know everything. I said, but if you ask me a question and I don't know the answer, I will find out for you. And I really admire people like that because sometimes we think we need to know everything. I think our heads would burst if we knew everything. But be willing to ask the question, and then if they don't know the answer, you know, you can seek out more and ask the question again and again, just like in visioning or in meditation. Something comes to you, and you don't understand it. Just ask the divine for more clarity. I need more clarification. I need more information, please. You know, you need it to be made clear. It is from our starting place, the desk, the time clock, the coffee pot, and even the parking lot, that we bear witness to the transcendence of the same old thing. The same old thing, the same old hamster wheel, over and over again. Get up in the morning, go to work, come home, eat, go to bed. Same thing. The routine and the usual, being bored again without the fear of failure. Wonder is the way. To build in wonder. Ask questions, wonder. Wonder why this is like this. Why do we do it this way? So many times you come up with there's possibly an easier way to do something, and they say, oh no, we can't do it. And you say, why? Because it's always been done this way. And that is such a crazy answer, because, you know, if there's another way to do it, an easier, cheaper way, do it that way. Make it easier on yourself, make it easier on everyone else. The second point is believing. Wondering is about inviting and exploring all possibilities. Just like in meditation and visioning. Allow things to come in without judgment, without criticism. You invite these things in. And don't throw anything out. Explore all possibilities, no matter. Sometimes something comes in, I know it, and we've done visioning, and, well, that's kind of crazy. But then if you really get down to it, and you fine-tune it, it's not so crazy. But just allowing the possibilities to come in. It is about the possibility of hope and faith in the boardroom or in a meeting room, anywhere. It can also be about questioning or doubt. In a brainstorming session and wondering why things are the way they are. Like I said, because we've always done it that way. I remember at Boeing we had this, they come up with all these different programs. It's the flavor of the week, you might say. And this one that went on for quite a while, if you saw something and you figured out another way to do it, you write it up, you submit it, and I got paid for a couple things. And there was a lot of times people came up with ideas that made work easier and make it less expensive. And they listened. That's the crazy thing. They listened. And so things don't always have to stay the same. Make today a wonder day. Take wonder to work, whatever you're doing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be your paying job. It's you work around the house, you work in the yard, whatever, things that you perceive as work. Like, I need to go out and do this, and I really don't want to do it, but I have to do it, But if you add a little wonder in it, like asking, like, I have to go out and water because, the plants need the water. Hasn't been a little drizzle yesterday, I think it was amounted to. And watering's kind of boring. I mean, I don't mind it for a bit, but when you got to water the whole front yard and backyard and all this, it's like, this is boring. But if you just watch and look, and like, I love it when the bees are around, because they amaze me. They're such little, they're busy as bees, and they don't bother me. And we have this one bush which is huge and has probably 1,000 bees are around there, and I have yet never gotten stung. Of course, I've never gone in and tried to kill any of them. But add a little wonder to your activities around your house, and then begin to invite the good things to make an appearance. And you'll notice the good things when they start appearing. Create a space of expectation that what we do and what we accomplish will make others' lives and the world better. By watering the plants and allowing the plants to live and to grow, what is that doing? That's allowing the bees, the birds, the butterflies to pollinate, to help make more. Wonder is the prolific professor that invites the world to dare to dream. Wonder. But for a moment, hold fast to those dreams. Langston Hughes said, "Hold fast to those dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly." Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. So if we don't have dreams, if we don't have wonder, what is life? Very boring and drudging, just like some jobs that we have are very boring, very tedious. So allow that bird to fly. Allow that life to fly. The dreams, the wonder. What if wonder is work itself? If alive and well, it celebrates each nuance, each grace, each surprise. We start to appreciate and accept only the extraordinary, the uncommon, and the unusual. We yearn for the good of ourselves to be known and shown to others. We work for the better and hope that the holiness of possibility is the goodness that prevails. Appreciate and accept only the extraordinary. Not to get our expectations too high, but to expect the extraordinary. Wonder is the only way to wonder, is to infuse our questioning and our thinking with a spiritual aspect of possibility. Wonder is to infuse our questioning and our thinking. Number 3 is behaving. Machado, the Spanish poet, penned, "Wayfarer, there is no way. We make the way by walking." We make the way by walking. No matter the work, the task, the project, the calling, wandering should occur throughout every day of everyone's life. It can be applied to the great, the small, the substantial, and the mundane. Kind of like a spiritual practice, like the spiritual practice of washing dishes. That is one of my least favorite things to do, but it has to be done. And so you can make the mundane maybe a little more exciting. Allowing your mind to wander, and knowing that by doing this is creating a clean and presentable kitchen. For one thing, I hate dirty dishes all over. So if you hate dirty dishes all over, what's the solution? Do the dishes. Another thing I really hate to do is put the clean laundry away. I don't mind washing it, whatever, but I hate putting it away. So it's you turn that into a spiritual practice, the spiritual practice of wonder too. And your mind is such a great thing. Each and every one of our minds, to me, is the most fantastic thing in the universe, because if you think of all the things that go through your mind in like a minute, for instance, all the different subjects, different topics, whatever, just like it's like a slideshow on super speed. And I've never counted. I've always thought I would take time and count how many different things went through my mind in a minute. So no matter what the calling, what this should be, the voice of wonder calls us out from a crowd. Not because we know all the answers, because we know we don't know all the answers. In some sense, we do know the answers because we can call on, by knowing we have questions and we don't right at the moment know the answers. To know the answer is to reach out to someone, to some place for the answer. So it's the way of getting the answers that we know. Not because we know all the answers, no, but because we are not afraid of the space that questions and questionings create. So if we don't know the answers, we're not afraid to ask the questions. And most of the time in my life, after I became, I don't want to say aware that I could ask questions without being chastised or because sometimes a kid will ask a question and the adult will be so insensitive and so I guess sometimes cruel. Well, don't you know that, or what are you, stupid, or things like that. And that's not a way to. You're going to stifle that individual. But once I had learned that I could ask the questions and not be look stupid, but because I want to know, because I need to know. The task of this life may seem overwhelming. Still, the reality that it is ours to do is wonder about everything, to see more of the divine design, bring forth the inspired image of humanity to this life, and to allow ourselves to belong to one another. to allow ourselves to belong to one another. Because in some sense, we are our brother's keeper. We're here, to me, to support one another, to lift up, to listen, to hear. And in the book, this thing called You, it says the spirit is happy, whole, free, filled with joy, eternal in its existence, and can provide you with everlasting expansion. All your highest hopes and dreams have come from it. Have come from the spirit that lives within. The spirit is happy, whole, free, filled with joy. And I think that we forget that so many times, that we are free. And that joy comes from, and happiness comes from within. Happiness, in some senses, is what we think we have to have from others. It's an outside thing, where joy is an internal. It's a God quality, because God is joy, and if God is joy, then I'm that joy. You're that joy. We are that joy. So with the light of wonder before us as a guide, let's explore what work in this world looks like. Doing good work paves the way to achievements of every kind. I want to invite you to allow the mystery and magic of everyday wonder to reveal itself in your work. Whatever you're going to do, whether you're going to walk the dog, you're going to that's where I find a lot of wonder, when I'm walking the dog, because there's so many things, and I wonder what in the world has she got it sniffing there for. It's because they are marvelous little creatures. They are, and they're like babies, like children. They are our teachers in a lot of ways. Like sometimes I want to go, and the dog says, no, I need to stop right here. I want to smell this. And that's a lesson in life, to stop, like the saying, stop and smell the roses. Take a minute out from your busy work that you're doing, and look around and see the beauty. Whether it's in a flower, a tree, a cloud, a person, a car, there is beauty all around us. There's also things that aren't so beautiful around us. And that's where we can take the wonder in our work, maybe, and help out, reach out. So allow the wonder to reveal itself today and this week. May the revelation of everyday wonder allow you to surrender the box, to step outside of the box, knock the walls down of that box. Take the blinders off. I refer to myself as wearing blinders a lot. Allow yourself to rid yourself of them and open your eyes. Wonder is the cost of admission to a more authentic way of being, of belonging, and being anchored. It's also a way of behaving in the workplace by empowering us to connect the dots of meaning, sharing, and relationship. Because wherever we are, we're in a relationship. Even if you're all alone, you're in a relationship with yourself. And so more important is the imaginative space, the words, I wonder. Just ask yourself, I wonder. I wonder what life would be like. I wonder this. I wonder that. What if? that gets your mind flowing, keeps the brain, keeps the activity, keeps that little gerbil going around in your brain there. But just this week, just go out and wonder in your work. And make your work enjoyable. Make it not a mundane task, but an enjoyable place to be. And the activity of doing it. Revel for those in all walks of life to wonder for themselves. May your work be supported by everyday wonder, the wonder of work. And so it is. So this Friday is their second to last movie. It's the seventh movie. I forgot what the title of it is, but and it will be here and then also on Zoom. And hopefully Reverend Vaughn will be back next week. I don't know if I have anything else to say. I just want to thank everyone for your support, for your love, for your kindness, for your compassion. Because God is all of these things. God is that love, God is that support, God is that compassion, that kindness. And that is what we are, each and every one of us. We each have that loving kindness. So as we move out into our week, this week of wonder, add wonder into your work. For I know that wonder is a great thing. And I know that work can be fun, enjoyable, joyful, playful. And so I give thanks for this day. I give thanks for this sacred ground that we stand on, this sacred space that we are in. And I release it and let it go. And I let it be. And so it is.